Our planet is on the brink of another world war. As a civilian, you feel like the only thing you can do is wait for updates on what will happen next. But then you see a massive explosion off in the distance, and your whole house begins to shake. The first attacks are underway. And with no official government plan on how to stay safe, your fate is in your own hands. Here's how to survive World War III. International relationships are pretty tense right now, so the idea of a global war breaking out isn't far-fetched. Some countries, such as Sweden, Germany, and Lithuania, are even educating their citizens on preparing for a potential war. So, should you start preparing too? What should you do if your hometown becomes a war zone? How could you escape? And where would it be safe to go? Here are some tips to help you survive. Number 1. Prepare for disaster. Some people might think you're crazy, but it's never too early to start planning for a national emergency. You'll need a basic emergency survival kit. It doesn't have to be too complicated, just some basic supplies in an easy-to-carry bag or container. You should have things like water, non-perishable food, a first aid kit, any essential medications, and some multi-purpose tools. Once you have your kit together, start working on an emergency plan. Discuss emergency meeting locations in the event of an attack. Decide on safe, familiar places where your family can go for protection or to reunite. And make sure to practice this emergency plan. It will be very easy to forget all the details during the hysteria of a national crisis. And that brings us to our next point. Number 2. When the attack happens, don't panic. Yes, this is easier said than done, but in the event of a crisis, it is crucial to focus and make decisions based on logic, not emotions. Get away from your windows, any large objects, and move towards the lower levels of your home immediately. If you live in a building, do not use the elevators. Take the stairs instead. Being underground in the basement while the attack is happening will reduce your chances of getting injured. If you're lucky enough to survive the initial attack, don't waste any time and start inspecting your home immediately. Determine whether it can still be used as reliable shelter for yourself and your family. If the damage to your home is significant, you need to evacuate and start looking for alternative places to stay in. Number 3. Get away from potential targets. Now that your city is under attack, you're best to get away from anything that might be the next target of a strike. This means any important or famous buildings, monuments, large bridges, tunnels, and known military bases. You'll want to hit the roads quickly because it's only a matter of time before there's chaos on the streets. Use a detailed map to find alternative routes out of the city with less traffic during an evacuation. GPS phone applications are good too, but you won't know how long you can rely on cell networks. Number 4. Find shelter. For your best chance at survival, you'll need to set up a new home base away from the combat. This can be a community center, a hospital, a shopping mall, or a friend's home. Essentially, you're looking for a location that still has running water, electricity, and heating. Keep in mind that power grids could go down at any moment as the result of a bombing or even a cyber attack. So you'd probably want to find somewhere that also has a fuel or solar-powered generator, just in case. Number 5. Be ready for nuclear warfare. If a global war breaks out in this day and age, nuclear weapons will likely be used. And that really complicates your emergency plan. If you see a nuclear flash, the first thing to do is get behind a barrier in case the shockwave comes your way. And then you've got to find an enclosed shelter quickly. You've only got about 15 to 20 minutes before nuclear fallout starts coming down. So cover your mouth and nose with a rag and close your eyes. Yes, this may make it more difficult to locate shelter, but it will protect you from possible nuclear fallout. Try to get to the inner part of a building, somewhere you could be protected by thick concrete, and ideally be underground. Once you've found shelter, be sure to remove your outer layer of clothing and your mouth cover. Seal them in a plastic bag and clean yourself as soon as possible. And then, get comfortable. You'll want to stay in your shelter for at least a day to ensure the dangers of radiation have been eliminated. With these tips, you should be able to stay holed up in a safe place until all of this blows over. Now, all you need to worry about is keeping your sanity while you wait alone in your shelter. But rest assured, we've got just the video to help you get through it on how to survive.